I haven't lined them all up together in so long that my collection grew, and it looks even bigger than I remember. That's what she said. So yeah, these are all of my knives that I have. These are this is my collection right here. Recently, I bought a new knife bag, which I need to update because this one is getting old and it's falling apart a little bit. But I want to keep this bag as kind of my backup bag that in case I have students or new trainees at the restaurant that need knives, I could pull knives out of this bag for them to borrow, and they can have my beater knives. They could borrow my beater knives, and I'll keep like my primary set, and then I also have a set of like collection slash like fancy schmancy. Like this one right here is this one is the Sakai Takayuki Yanagi that I have not used yet. And I really don't want to use it, but it's a Damascus Yanagi 300 mil, and I absolutely am in love with this knife, and I'm too scared to use it. I don't want to mess it up. I don't want to damage it. And this knife as well is the Masamoto Usuba. I used it once at the restaurant to give it a test run, which this is white steel. These two are white steel knives, and as you can see, it almost started to rust a little bit. I gotta correct that here in the future with some rust eraser and oil. But I only used that one once, and I've never used this knife. And this knife is going to be a project in which I need to restore it, redo the handle, redo the edge, redo the finish. This is the Tsujihiki that I'm primarily using for maki. I use this every single day. I love this knife. However, it rusts a little too quickly, it being a blue #2 steel. So I decided to buy a new knife, which is the one right above it. This one is a Yu Kurosaki SG2 Tsujihiki, which is very close to VG10, very high in vanadium, chromium, so it shouldn't rust as fast. This is the one that I don't really use that much, so I'm probably going to give it a resharpen and let people borrow it at the bar in case anyone wants to learn how to use a Tsujihiki. Let's see, this knife I use a lot as well. This is my Shun Pro Yanagi. This is the one that I got from Chef Kawasaki-san at Morimoto. This one, I'm not sure of the steel. I'm pretty sure it's a white steel as well. This one is the one that I redid, and I did the handle. This is the knife that I restored, and I made the handle on it, which I want to redo in the future because I learned a lot in the practice that I've had done. So I do plan on redoing this knife as well, and I do need to correct I need to fix that little rust area. This was a gift from Hannah's mom. This is a takobiki or takohiki, something like that, from Japan. This was Hannah's grandmother's knife that her mom gave me that I have not used. I do need to redo the handle on this one as well. It is falling apart. It's not too bad, but the ferrule used to come up, and I didn't like the way it felt. So I do plan on redoing that one as well. This is the left-handed Yanagi from when I worked in Savannah. This one used to be all rusted up and moldy, but I asked the chef that was running the bar at the time, I said, whose knife is this? And he said, I don't know, it's been sitting there for a long time. You can have it if you want, but it is a left-handed Yanagi, which I primarily use this because back in the day, I couldn't afford a nice Yanagi. So I used this primarily, and even though it was left-handed, it still did work for me. So I'm really glad I took that and used that for the time being. This Yanagi, this is actually a Yanagi Deba. I can't remember the name of it, but this is a really heavy, thick Yanagi. My brother bought me this, I want to say 3 years into doing sushi. I was cutting a lot of tunas, and this is the absolute monster on tuna. So I tried to save this whenever I'm doing big, thick fish that have thick bones, like snapper, grouper, anything like that. This thing can just hack right through the bones. And it being a Yanagi, you're not really supposed to use it on bones, but this has zero problems whatsoever with my experience. This is a slicer from a friend of mine at the restaurant. She actually ordered one for her partner at the time, and there was a shipping issue where they sent her 11 of them for free, and she only bought one, so she gave me one of them. And let's see, this is a bird's beak paring knife that I got from a chef when I worked over at Ichiban. I used it once when he had it, and I was watching him cut flowers out of daikon, and I absolutely fell in love with the knife, fell in love with the handle, and the way it felt in my hands. And I asked him, where did you get it? I want to buy one. And he ended up just saying, hey, you can have this one. I'm pretty sure it's just like a little cheapo, schmeepo, M. Myland. Pretty sure it's in Myland or something in it, whatever. This is a project I'm currently working on. This is a gyuto from Hannah's grandma as well. I've used it, sharpened it once, and this thing is a monster. I'm pretty sure this is blue steel #1. I can't remember. I don't know exactly. I'm kind of guessing here based on the reaction to water, edge retention, and corrosion. So this is going to be my next project that I'm currently working on. I'm going to redo the handle, make a WA style handle. In case you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm going to be building one of those with the walnut that I have. I don't know. This is my very first chef's knife that I've ever made. Well, I didn't make it. I didn't forge the metal. I bought the metal. It's just AUS 10 steel. Nothing impressive. Very affordable. I bought just the blank itself that came sharpened. I gave it a polish, and I made the handle for it, which it broke. Yeah, there it is. That's broken. So I am going to be redoing this one in the future, and this will probably be my at-home knife. This is my OG, triple OG, quadruple OG. This is my very first chef's knife that I ever bought. I bought it when I worked at Ichiban, and I still have it to this day. I gave it to my dad for a while, and he used it for a little bit, and then he didn't want to use it too much because he didn't want to damage it. So I asked him, hey, if you don't use it, can I have it back? Because I have a lot of people that are working at the sushi bar that don't have knives yet. So I asked for it back, and this is now one of my loaner knives that I let my apprentices use. This is my Takayuki EY 63 layer Damascus gyuto, which is one of my favorites. It is an absolute beast in the kitchen, and it could break down almost anything. I love this knife. It is super lightweight, very versatile. The only thing I don't like about it is that it rusts 3 times as fast as that knife. So I probably will be looking at a new gyuto next year to add to the collection. But right now I really don't need one. But yeah, I love this knife. I even made a saya for it myself. I made this saya for it last year, and it matches the finish of the handle, the color at least. But yeah, love that knife. This is my Masamoto Petty that Chef Masaki-san gave me at Zigu. When I parted, he gave me this like knife, or he gave me this roll of like a towel, this huge towel of a whole bunch of different tools that I'll probably be needing. He gave me this knife as well as shears, these like vegetable shears that are really cool. He also gave me a unagi pin or an eel pin, and he gave me a couple of other things I can't remember. But yeah, love this knife. We use this at home. Me and Hannah use this at home primarily for everything, actually. It's a beast. I have not sharpened it since early 2021, and it's still razor sharp. I actually cut my finger on it not too long ago on the hot pot video. I just cut that part out. Yeah, love this knife. I need to redo it because I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of lazy when I'm at home. I didn't take care of it too well, and it's starting to develop a patina, which I can easily fix with resin remover. These 2 knives I'm unsure of. These are gifts from Hannah's mom as well that belong to her grandmother, but they are petties, and I have not used them yet. However, they're still sharp, so amazing. I'm unsure of the metal. I'm unsure of the brand. There's not much writing on them. Got that, and then that it says made in Japan on top. I don't know what these are, but if anyone's familiar, this one doesn't have any markings at all. Oh yeah, it's very faint. I don't know. But I do need to redo the handles on these because you can see this one is just busted. This one's not too bad, but it is starting to fall apart at the heel. Not the heel, but the butt of the handle. And as you can see right there, there's like a dip in there, which means I think this handle isn't the original handle. I don't know, but these are going to be future projects, and they're just in line. This is my Shun Deba, which was a gift from Hannah's sister way back in the day. Hannah's sister and I worked at Ichiban for 3 years when I was there, as long as I was there. And she bought, her and a bunch of other people chipped in and bought me this knife when I left for Savannah, Georgia, to help me with breaking down fish and all that stuff. So I still have that. I still remember that y'all got it for me, and I appreciate it. These two were gifts from Hannah's mom as well. This one is an absolute donkey. It is massive. This feels like it's like 3 pounds. It's heavy. However, I have not used it. I haven't found a need for it yet, but it is a beast, and I will redo the finish, take off the rust, redo the handle at some point, and that one's going to be lovely. This one was it's a little bit smaller, but it's a Deb as well, and it was a gift from Hannah's mom, like I said. This one had a lot of rust on it as well, but I had already finished the restoration on the blade. The handle was in excellent condition, and I didn't have to do any work on this knife, so except for sharpening and rust removal. But yeah, this is my collection, and that is a description on each one. Did I miss any of them? That, my Shunasuba, did I mention that? I use this one every day. I love this knife. This was a gift from Chef Russo out in Idaho, an old friend of mine. When I first started doing sushi, we met on Instagram. We haven't never met in person, but we met on Instagram. We still talk to this day here and there when we're not too busy. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, this is my entire collection of knives that I use or plan to use, and there's still a couple missing. I realized that my dad has one of my slicers, and I have a knife at work that I forgot. It's on the magnet strip, as well as one in my car that's not even that great of mentioning. Let's see what needs to go in the knife bag that I'm going to be using primarily every day, and then let's see what I'm going to put in my backup bag.